This week on In Case You Missed It, the head coach of the Super Eagles, Coach Finidi announced his 23-man squad for the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against the Bafana Bafana of South Africa and the Cheetahs of Benin Republic. Super Eagles want to play defensive football. Coach Finidi calls for balance in the team. Chelsea agreed deal to sign Enzo Maresca as the new manager of the club on a long-term contract. Reigning African Player of the Year, Victor Osimhen, is out of the 2026 World Cup qualifiers due to an injury. Super Eagles were scared of us. South African coach Hugo Broos promised to beat the Super Eagles to the World Cup ticket. Super Eagles players arrived at their Uyo camp for the World Cup qualifiers, and Nigeria gave a perfect solution to the new national anthem problem.
Hello everyone and welcome to Sport Talks with Bami. Please subscribe for more updates.
Super Eagles head coach, Coach Finidi has named his 23-man squad for the crucial 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against the Bafana Bafana of South Africa and the Cheetahs of Benin Republic. The team boasts a strong lineup, including informed stars like Ademola Lookman, the reigning African Footballer of the Year Victor Osimhen, and the midfielder Finidi. Chippa United goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali, who impressed at the recent Africa Cup of Nations, will be joined by the returning Maduka Okoye for options in the net. The defense features England-based stars Calvin Bassey and Semi Ajayi. The midfield is boosted by the experience of Wilfred Ndidi and Alex Iwobi, with Alassane Yusuf offering additional depth. Finidi called up Kelechi Iheanacho and informed strikers like Victor Boniface, Terem Murphy and Paul Onuachu. New faces include defender Sadiq Ismail from Raymond Stars, midfielder Fisayo Bashiru playing in Turkey, and German-based forward Nathan Teller. These call-ups demonstrate Finidi's commitment to finding the best talent for the national team. However, there are some notable omissions in the squad. AFCON most valuable player William Troost-Ekong will likely not recover in time from the injury peak recently, as he has been left out of the squad. Team captain Ahmed Musa was not in the squad for the last two friendly games against Ghana and Mali in March, and also missed this time around. Musa is presently without a club, and his time with the Super Eagles may have ended at the AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire. Other notable omissions are Kenneth Omero, Nottingham Forest striker Taiwo Awoniyi, and his teammate Ola Aina, among others. The Super Eagles will face South Africa at the Cosby Akpabio Stadium in Uyo on Friday, June 7th, with the kickoff time at 8 p.m. Nigeria time. And they will travel to Abidjan, Ivory Coast for their second match against Benin on Monday, June 10th, kicking off at 5 p.m. Nigeria time. Here is the list of the full squad. Goalkeepers include Stanley Nwabali, Maduka Okoye, Ojo Olorunleke, and defenders are Chidozie Awazim, Bright Osai Samuel, Sadiq Ismail, Oluwasemilogo Ajayi, Calvin Bassey, and the Tanzania-based Benjamin Tanimo. The midfielders are Wilfred Ndidi, Raphael Onyedika, Alassane Yusuf Abdullahi, Frank Onyeka, Alex Iwobi, and Fisayo Dele Bashiru. And the forwards are Nathan Teller, Victor Osimhen, Kelechi Iheanacho, Samuel Chukwueze, Paul Onuachu, Ademola Lookman, Victor Boniface, and Terem Murphy.
Hello everyone and welcome to Sport Talks with Bami. Please subscribe for more updates.
Super Eagles head coach, Coach Finidi has confirmed that he will set up his team in a new formation for the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying matches against the Bafana Bafana of South Africa and the Cheetahs of Benin Republic. Finidi is quite inexperienced at the higher level of football, although he was assistant to the former Super Eagles manager, Jose Peseiro, for 20 months. Peseiro was forced to make a tactical shift during the Africa Cup of Nations due to the late withdrawal of Bayer Leverkusen striker Victor Boniface, who suffered an injury at the training camp in the United Arab Emirates. The Portuguese tactician set up his team in a 3-4-3 formation during the tournament in Ivory Coast, and the forward were tasked with helping the team to defend when out of possession. The top 3 players with the most foul committed throughout the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations were from Nigeria, including 2 forwards, with Ademola Lookman leading the way with 21 fouls in 7 matches, followed by Victor Osimhen with 20. Super Eagles fans are uncertain whether Finidi will adopt an offensive or defensive strategy for the upcoming World Cup qualifiers. Speaking to Arise News during his media tour, Finidi explained, "With the caliber of players that we have, we cannot play that defensive. In football, you must get that balance when you attack, when you defend. If the player are aware of what you are doing and you attack properly and you know when to defend, Nigeria had one of the best defensive records at the last AFCON, posting 4 consecutive clean sheets before conceding a late goal in the semi-final win on penalties against South Africa. In terms of the style of play, Finidi has suggested that the Super Eagles will return to the traditional 4-3-3 formation. He continues, "We struggled going forward as well, we just have to get that balance right. Maybe the formation has to change, whereby we take away a player in the attack and put him in the midfield. We played 3-4-3 in the last AFCON, and maybe it's time to get back to 4-3-3, where we make use of our wingers properly." The Super Eagles will face Bafana Bafana of South Africa in a must-win 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying encounter at the Akpabio International Stadium, Uyo, on Friday, June 7, before they travel to Ivory Coast to face Benin Republic at the Felix Houphouët-Boigny Stadium in Abidjan on June 10. The Eagles are currently second in the group with 2 points from 2 matches and will be hoping to bounce back to win away. After being permitted to talk to Chelsea by Leicester City, Enzo Maresca has agreed to become the new manager of the Chelsea Football Club. The Italian becomes the 4th permanent manager of the Todd-Bowley and Bedard Ebali era since the club was taken over in 2022. Chelsea supporters were left in shock after the Blues hierarchy decided to part ways with Mauricio Pochettino at the end of the season, following an improvement in form at Stamford Bridge. One defeat in 15 games ensured that Chelsea finished 6th in the table, having dropped into the bottom half at a point in the season. According to Fabrizio Romano, Maresca has signed a 5-year deal with the West London club with the option of assist, which could take him until June 2030, illustrating the Blues' long-term thinking. With the appointment, the 44-year-old was appointed as Leicester City head coach last summer after previously working as assistant to Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. He led Leicester City to the championship title and promotion to the English top flight. After a shock relegation the previous season, Maresca guided Leicester City back into the Premier League at the first attempt and has won the hearts of football fans for his attractive and possession-dominant brand of football. Enzo Maresca, Thomas Frank, Kieran McKenna, and Roberto De Zerbi were all in the running for the Blues job, but it was Maresca who will now take control at Stamford Bridge. His style of football is said to have impressed Chelsea. Maresca is excited about the prospect of becoming Chelsea's head coach, but wants to make sure everything is done in the right way. And Leicester City receive the respect they deserve. The Italians' release clause at the King's Power Stadium is understood to be between £8 and £10 million, which was not a problem for Chelsea. He's grateful to Leicester City owner for allowing him to manage such a great club, and they want to make sure he maintains a good relationship with the fans and everyone at the club. It will be interesting to see how the former Manchester City assistant manager does as a head coach in the Premier League for the first time. The reigning African Player of the Year, Victor Osimhen, will not feature for Nigeria in the next month's crucial 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against the Bafana Bafana of South Africa and the Cheetahs of Benin Republic due to an injury. This was announced on the Super Eagles official X handle on Tuesday. Osimhen was a second-half substitute in Napoli's 0-0 draw against Leeds in the final game of the 2023-2024 Serie A season. The Nigeria Football Federation (NFF) said that Napoli striker Osimhen is injured and will be sidelined for at least 4 weeks. His place has now been taken by Enugu Rangers defender Kenneth Idoke. The post read, "Camp update. African Player of the Year Victor Osimhen is injured and out for 4 weeks. Super Eagles coach Finidi has called up Enugu Rangers left back Kenneth Idoke for the World Cup qualifiers against South Africa and Benin Republic. The 25-year-old star, who was a mainstay in the team's second-place finish at the African Cup of Nations earlier in the year, has not played for the Super Eagles since the competition. He missed out on Nigeria's side friendly matches against Ghana and Mali owing to an injury. As it stands, Bayern Leverkusen star Victor Boniface will likely lead the Nines for the Super Eagles, with support from the Europa League final man of the match, Ademola Lookman. The head coach of the Super Eagles, Coach Finidi, on Friday named the 23-man squad for the upcoming FIFA World Cup qualifiers. The Super Eagles will host South Africa in their upcoming 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying encounter at the Akpabio International Stadium in Uyo on Friday, June 7th. The 3-time African champions will travel to face Benin at the Felix Houphouët-Boigny Stadium in Abidjan 3 days later. They are under pressure to win both games as they sit third in Group C with 2 points from 2 matches. South Africa are second in Group C with 3 points, while Benin are bottom of the table with 1 point.
I saw during the game, I saw the coach of Nigeria always telling to the players, go back, because they were afraid to lose against us.
Hello everyone and welcome to Sport Talks with Bami. Please subscribe for more updates.
The head coach of Bafana Bafana, the South African national team, Hugo Broos, has looked back on his team's previous encounter with the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Bafana Bafana are set to face Nigeria for the 16th time at the Gospel Akpabio International Stadium on June 7th as part of the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Ahead of this clash, the Super Eagles under the guidance of Portuguese tactician Osimhen secured a victory during the 2023 African Cup of Nations tournament through a 4-2 penalty shootout win to book a place in the final against Cote d'Ivoire. According to the Belgian manager, the Super Eagles were careful of his team during the match, noting that Pesero frequently instructed his player to adopt a more defensive approach. Speaking to SABC, he said, "We were very close. We played a very good game. I saw during the game the coach of Nigeria always telling his player, go back, because they were afraid to lose against us." After a penalty goal by Super Eagles vice-captain William Troost-Ekong, the South African mounted pressure on Nigeria's defense, with Kuluso Mudau missing a crucial chance that could have changed the outcome of the game. Who's added, I think 1 minute to the end, the big chance that Kuluso had, if he could have scored that goal, we were in the final. And as I said earlier, if we were in the final, we had a chance against Ivory Coast. The experienced Belgian coach who led Cameroon to win the 2017 AFCON and go South Africa to the semi-final of the competition in February, said he's confident Bafana Bafana can emerge from a tricky group that also had Rwanda, Lesotho, Zimbabwe and Benin. When announcing his final squad to face the Super Eagles, Bruce said, "We have made such a progress in the last 2 years. The results are there, now we want more. When you are a sportsman, you want more, so we want to go to the World Cup. It will not be easy because when you look at the group, it is maybe not a strong group, but it is a tricky group because we have Zimbabwe, Lesotho and all the countries around South Africa. So it will not be easy, and certainly with Nigeria too, but I think we have confidence and believe in ourselves because of the performance of the AFCON. We will see in the next year where we stand, but the mission is to go to the World Cup certainly." South Africa is second in Group C with 3 points, a point ahead of Nigeria who had 2 points, same as Lesotho and Zimbabwe. Rwanda tops the standing with 4 points, while Benin is bottom with a point. Super Eagles players have been arriving their Uyo camp since it opened on Friday ahead of the 2 crucial 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against the Bafana Bafana of South Africa and the Cheetahs of Benin. Although the Director of Media and Communication of Nigeria Football Federation, Ademola Olajire, said the camp would be open on Monday, players started arriving at the team's camp on Friday, as well as the head coach of the team, Coach Finidi and his assistants. According to multiple reports in Uyo, the players in camp presently are MPFL invitees Sodiq Ismail, Kenneth Igoke, who was called up to replace injured Victor Osimhen, and Enyimba goalkeeper Ujo Olorunleke. Others include Ibrahim Olawoyin, who replaced Bayer Leverkusen forward, the Tantella, Chippa United goalkeeper Stanley Nwambali, Tanzania-based Benjamin Tanimon, Wilfred Ndidi, who has been in the country for a while, and Fisayo Delebashiru, who also arrived on Saturday evening. AC Milan forward Samuel Chukwueze also arrived in camp on Saturday, despite worries over his fitness. The 24-year-old picked up an injury during AC Milan's Serie A match against Cagliari on May 11 and later missed Milan's last 2 Serie A matches against Torino and Salernitana. However, the team hasn't had any training session at the Gospel Akpabio International Stadium yet. Meanwhile, the Super Eagles match against South Africa will make it the first time they will sing the old national anthem, being introduced by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Players of the Super Eagles have been advised to simply mime the new national anthem instead of having trouble over singing it during the FIFA World Cup qualifying encounter against South Africa. Former Nigerian forward and Shooting Star Sports Club General Manager Dimeji Lawa urged the players to simply mime the anthem. Replying to a comment on Facebook, he wrote, "The microphone will not be in their hands. All they are expected to do is mime. Milli Vanilli sold a lot of albums in the 80s without even knowing the lyrics. The singer is always somewhere behind the scenes. Power of technology." Nigeria will face South Africa at Gospel Akpabio International Stadium in Uyo on Friday, June 7, before traveling to Cote d'Ivoire to face Benin Republic on Monday, June 10. The Eagles are third in Group C of the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers with 2 points from 2 matches and need to win both games to get their campaign back on track.